Hello, friend. Hello, friend. That's lame. Maybe I should give you a name. But that's a slippery slope. You're only in my head. We have to remember that. Shit. This actually happened. I'm talking to an imaginary person. What I'm about to tell you is top secret. A conspiracy bigger than all of us.
1 2 1 2. Hello guys. It's your boy here, Mr. Robot. That's actually not my name, but yeah, let's use it for the sake of my YouTube channel. So this is my YouTube channel. It's called Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot Computer Repair and Smile. So I actually I borrowed this name from a TV show called Mr. Robot. Yeah, so I think that's the whole series that inspired the whole channel. Downloaded Google Chrome, but then we can actually download it so that everyone is on par with the application. We can download it and we will download it, then install it. So I will use Brave. Okay, Brave is one of my favorite web browsers. Then yeah, so first thing you do is just type Chrome download. Yes, Chrome download. So if your PC is new, sometimes you usually use Microsoft Edge to actually download Google Chrome and then uninstall Microsoft Edge. Yeah, I'm not sure why most of the tech guys actually use that, actually do that, but I would say it's been a norm doing that. So the first link, you can skip that one if you're not I'm using a desktop PC, so you can just skip that Google Play. You can only use it when you are using an Android. So just click on Google Chrome, the fastest way. Then it will take you straight to the web browser. You just click download, then automatically it will show you this. Just wait a few seconds, then automatically okay, I'm using an extension called ITM, Internet Downloader Manager, but you can actually use any downloader manager on your preference, but I prefer ITM. So if you do not use any Internet Downloader Manager, then it's gonna pop up somewhere along the way here. Okay, or you can just check your downloads. Then I'll just click start download. Then automatically it will depend on the bandwidth or the type of Wi-Fi speed that you use. My Wi-Fi currently it's a bit low, or I would just say it's very low. It's 15 megabytes per second, but yeah, but it's actually keeping up on whatever I want to do. Just click open, or just click open folder, then automatically it will take you straight to the downloads folder. Then you can double click there, just hit yes, user control. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? You just click yes. Then after clicking yes, you just wait for it. It will connect to the Google's server. Then it will start downloading. Then after downloading, you just wait a bit. You wait for it to actually install. Install Google Chrome. But then since I have already installed Google Chrome, I'll just click the Windows button. Then scroll down. Here's my Google Chrome. Just click on Google Chrome. Then first thing that you will see here at the bottom here, these are the links, or yes, these are the links that I have already used my Google Chrome. So automatically when you start it from scratch, you won't see this. Maybe you will only see Google Chrome website or something, but it won't appear. It will just show maybe one or two links. Yeah, so these are the website that I have already visited. Since you haven't visited any website, so it's not gonna show anything. So what you can do is come to this part. As you can see here, this is a profile. So if you have a Google Chrome profile, let's say for example you have a Google Chrome profile using on your device, you just click here, then you can sign in. Then when you sign in, uh, almost, but not everything, the data that you have already used on your Android device or whatever device that you are using. It's actually gonna move that data to the uh, it's gonna move that data it's gonna move that data to your personal computer, from Android to a personal computer. What data am I talking about? Things like your passwords, your profiles, maybe if possible you can actually also extract your browser history, even your extensions, if you do have extension on your Android, if it's possible. Sometimes it's possible, I'm not saying it's not, it's possible. Sometimes it's possible, but it is only possible when you are using, if you are taking data from one PC to another, then it's possible that you can get all that information, even browser history, bookmarks and so forth. Yeah. So one thing I want us to do, basically, just click. I want us to actually play around with the settings. So we'll see around then to the signing in. So when you click here, don't worry about this action required to sort it out. Then click on those three dots. Click settings. Then on your settings, the first thing that you see here, it's it's you and your Google. So basically, if you are not signed in, it will show you the first screen that is gonna show, it's here. Even if you are signed in, it's gonna show your profile here. Then Google services, customize your profile and import bookmarks. If you have previously used as whether it's your laptop or somewhere where you installed Chrome, you can actually move that data to the current computer. So you can actually the first screen, it's you and your Google. Yes. Then the next one, it's autofill and passwords. Basically, as I have already said, you can actually move your data, even passwords, to your new built computer by just signing in here. You can actually have all your password. Let me actually demonstrate. Let me just sign in with one of my accounts. So just type in your email address. This is my email address. Then I'll just type in my password. Okay, just close this one. Okay. Yeah, so you just click enter, just tap enter. Then if you have two-factor authentication, then automatically it will require you to actually go to your personal phone, confirm there. As you can see, this is my Galaxy A16. I'll just click yes to my phone. Then automatically, after you have confirmed, it will just load. Then it will give you this screen to quickly get back to the sites you visited, sync your history and tabs. I'll just click yes, I'm in. Then automatically it will if there were settings that you have already configured on your computer, as you can see, my background now automatically changed. Even the tabs that the websites that I visited, it's no longer those that you saw first time, but it almost changed everything. But yeah, it almost changed everything. I'll just put it like that. So let's go back to the settings. As you can see now, it said it's signed in as Liabona. That's actually my name. So as you can see now, this is my profile. Then let's go back to the passwords. As you can see now, I have about 377 passwords. Yeah, I visited a lot of websites, so it's actually acceptable. So yeah, these are the things that you can see. Let's say, for example, you can click on passwords. It will show you the website or the password that I have already saved. Yeah, you know, this thing about passwords, you cannot actually cram 377 passwords, so there's no way. What I use something called Google Password Manager. You can use any password manager. It doesn't have to be Google Password Manager, but just because I'm using Google Chrome, so I heavily rely on Google Password Manager to actually store my password. A good thing about Google Password Manager is that the whole it's acting like a vault. As if you know a bank vault, it has lot of logs. So before you store anything inside the vault, the vault itself, it should have some sort of a security where we'll have 2 or 3 logs locking the vault, like the door of the vault. It must have a lot of logs or keys. So even the the Google Password Manager, it has its own password, which is the master password that is actually locking all the passwords. So yeah, so it's one of the things that I like about this Google Password Manager. You can actually configure your own Google Password Manager. I think that's another I think I will have to create another episode for the Google Password Manager. How do you configure, how to create password, then how do you save your password, and then how do you extract the password that we have already, how do you import passwords, how do you export password to a CSV file, Google CSV file, then how do you import them back to Google Chrome. So yeah, then these are the things that you can see. You can actually save password, you can save payment methods, you can save contact information. As you can see, I have about 4 addresses. I'm not sure why I think I need to delete those addresses because I don't like my personal information being stored online. Also your identity, your driver's license, your ID card, or your passport, your traveling information. As you can see, most of my information is redacted here. So because I'm one of the security enthusiasts, so I don't want my information lying about on the online platforms. So you can also check the Google Password Manager, Google Wallet. If you have a Google Wallet, you can set up your Google Wallet, you can set up your Google account. Then let's go to privacy and settings. It's one of the best things that I like about this browser. Let me actually close this one. Yes, close this one. So as you can see, we can actually check the password that we can go. No, not the password now. The safety. You can do the safety check by just clicking safety check. It will show you that there are 59 compromised password. You should change this password. So it's actually, as much as it is very bad, not as much as, but it is very bad to reuse password. As you can see, I reused 59 password. I think they are not reused, but it's just that they are similar, or they are actually easy, along those lines. But please don't reuse password. Rather, don't recycle. Rather, change the password and make it more stronger. Also, my Google Chrome is not updated. I think the reason why it's not updated is because I tried to install Google Chrome on top of this one. Otherwise, my browser is using enhanced safety browsing. The enhanced safety browsing is turned on. So let's go back here. Then you can actually, if you don't want your data to be stolen, because there are actually hackers who are able to extract browser history, catch the images and files, almost anything that is being saved by Google Browser. So it's advisable to actually delete your browser data. Delete your browser data by all means necessary. Delete your browser data. You can delete your browser data. You can check the privacy guidelines. Just do it on your spare time. You can check third-party cookies. You can block third-party cookies, or you can allow third-party cookies. But my advice is to block third-party cookies, because it's those people are always looking for any information to steal. So then you can also allow related site to see your activity. I wouldn't advise turning on this button, because the telemarketers are out to steal your personal information. Advanced, you can check, or you can just turn on this button that says send a do not track request with your browser. Sites use their discretion when responding to this request. Sometimes the website that we visit, they track, I think they track the what is the word, they usually track the usage or the website that you usually visit on a daily basis, so that they can create something called cookies, or your preferences. They can tailor market, or they can tailor your preferences, so that whenever you visit that website, they will you just automatically see or be redirected to things that you normally visit. I hope I'm not confusing things, but yeah. So yeah, I think we are done with this part. Then let's go to security. Then on the security, we have safe browsing. 3 methods of safe browsing. We have enhanced protection. It on real time. It is real time AI powered protection against dangerous sites, downloads, and extensions that's based on your browsing data getting sent to Google. Sometimes even Google is actually extracting information to us. I'm not sure what are they doing with that information, but I think I believe it's either they are selling our information, or they are giving to the telemarketers to actually, or they are actually analyzing the usage. I'm not sure, but there's something bad that they are doing with our information. Maybe sometime in the future we'll do a video just explaining what is actually happening when they collect that information. So we have enhanced protection. We have standard protection, which is this one. It protects against sites, downloads, and extensions that are known to be dangerous. Then we have no protection, which is not recommended. Never use this one, because anyone can have access to your information. If you use no protection, it means your information, if it's moving in transit, it's not protected. Anyone who's actually listening or doing whatever they do on your session, they can easily get your passwords, your messages. If you're on WhatsApp, on Facebook, they can listen to your conversations and do whatever they want to do. So I would advise using enhanced protection. So enhanced protection is actually protecting you in a lot of things. One of the things is to cancel those websites that are actually tracking your daily usage. Yes, I hope you get. Yeah. Then there's secure connection. Always use secure connection. Please turn this button on. Then also choose this one. It should warn you for insecure public and private sites. So there are actually sites that are disguised as safe sites, but those sites are actually extracting information, or collecting information, your personal information, whether it's your IP address, your MAC address, your personal information like your personal number, your ID, your date of birth, and so forth, your address, and so forth and so forth. So it's good practice to actually turn on this button. Then we come to advance. Then advance, you can turn on this button so that you can it can warn you if passwords are compromised, as you saw previously when I show you that I have about 59 compromised passwords. So in situations like that, you need to turn this button on so that you'll get that protection whenever there's a password that is being reused. The AI that is being used will let you know that this password has been compromised, so you need to quickly reset it. Then also you can manage your certificate. If you have any HTML or SSL certificates that is configured, you can choose this one. But for a beginner like me and you, we can just leave this as it is. Or you can also use your Google Advanced Protection programs. If you have if you know any Google Advanced Protection program, just go through this document. It will teach you how to use the Google Advanced Protection. How do you protect yourself or defend against targeted online attacks, which is how do you defend yourself against hackers. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Then let's go to performances. So this one, it has to do if you are using, I would say, if you are using a powerful computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, then you can configure your performance, because Google Chrome is using a lot of CPU usage and also RAM usage. You need to configure this so that if like take for example you opened 2 or more tabs, those tabs that you don't use, those should be turned off or should be inactive, so that it won't use a lot of RAM, because Google Chrome it chows a lot of RAM. So the performance issues, will get alerts on the performance issues. If your computer is not keeping up, then you will get notifications that there's performance issues. Then inactive tabs appearance, a dotted cycle appears around the site icon. If you have inactive tabs that are open, it will show you some sort of a white dot, showing that there's action that is actually happening on that inactive tab. It's either you need to close it or you need to go back to that tab. Then tab hover preview card appears. When you click or hover on that tab, it will give you some sort of a title or a short description of whatever is happening in that tab. Then let's move to the RAM. So the RAM usage is the most critical part, because as I've already indicated that Google Chrome is using a lot of RAM, so you need to use some sort of mechanism of saving your RAM. So you can choose between the three. You can choose moderate memory saving. Your tabs become inactive after a long period of time. You don't actually necessarily need to take long to be those tabs to be inactive. You can use, I would advise not to use moderate, because those tabs can actually chow a lot of memory. You can use balanced, which is the recommended one. It get balanced memory saving. Your tabs will become inactive after an optimal period of time. It could be after 2 minutes or 5 minutes, or it could be 10 minutes. It depends on how the time frame, the inactive time frame. But I would advise choosing maximum, because maximum your tabs become inactive after a short period of time. Maybe after 2 or 3 seconds they get inactive. Then when they are inactive, it means there's no memory that is gonna be used in that part. So yeah. Then the speed, you can, or with regards to the speed, Chrome preloads pages, which makes browsing and searching faster. So in order for the browsers to actually act fast, you need to configure the speed. It's either you use the extended preloading or the standard one. I'd advise choosing the extended preloading, but it actually also uses a lot of memory, but it's a slight sacrifice for a better preloading. Pages may be preloaded through Google servers when requested by other sites. So let's turn on this with the hopes that the Google servers are actually moving faster. Or if it's not working, you can just go back and turn it to take the standard mode. So this one, I think it depends on the CPU performance. So as you can see, my CPU is AMD Ryzen 7 5700. I have 16 cores. I have about 16 cores. So the recommended nominal performance tie is tie 4, which is ultra. It means I can go beyond high. I can actually choose tie 4, which is extremely faster. It's extremely faster. It is the page preload. It's actually faster. So I will just leave it as do not overwrite. Yes. You can do the appearance. Basically, the appearance is what you want your browser to look like. For example, you can see my browser, my background. It's actually showing those beautiful symbols there. Then even the background or the display, it's in dark mode, or yeah, it's in dark mode. I believe it's in dark mode. So you can set up the theme. You can customize your toolbar. You can set up your the mode. You can set up your mode from, it could be dark mode or light mode, but I prefer dark mode because light mode, it's actually straining my eyes, so I prefer a dark mode than light mode. So you can actually you can actually configure your show home button, whether you want, whenever you open Google Chrome, it will create a new page, or automatically it will, your home page will be Google it's http colon exclamation mark google.com. Yes. Then you can set your tab position, which is this position, to be horizontal, or you can just use vertical, meaning your tabs will be vertically aligned. I prefer, again, this goes about what you prefer. I prefer horizontal because I just want my tabs to go like this instead of being on the left hand side. So you can actually configure all these tabs and panels in your own preferred way. You can actually set your fonts, your side panels and position. Then let's go to search engines. Basically, since we are using Chrome, Google is one of the it's not one of the best, not my words, not one of the best one, but it's one of the preferred ones. In my opinion, the ones that I prefer Brave and DuckDuck. The reason why I'm saying so, Brave and DuckDuck is one of the secured ones. Yes, Google is secured, but the most secured ones, it's Brave and DuckDuck. So you can actually you can change the default. Sometimes it's automatically Microsoft. It's actually using Bing. I don't like Bing. With the whole my life. I don't like Bing, but you can just use Brave or just use Google as a default. Just set it as a default. Then after that, you are done. Then on the default, if you prefer Chrome to be your default browser, you can make it your default browser. But in my case, I actually use Brave. I think I have about 3 search browsers. I have Google Chrome. I have Malvat. Actually, Malvat, it's one of the best. It's one of the best search browsers, because the best thing about this one, it's not built upon the Chromium source code. This one, it's built upon the Tor projects, the Onion Route project. So it has nothing to do with source code, Google source code. So I'm using Malvat, Google Chrome, Brave. I think for now it's those 3. Yeah. So, but the default one, it's actually Brave. Then on startup, what do you want your Brave, your browser to show on the startup? Mine, it's configured to continue where I left. Sometimes there are tabs that I don't want to close. Sometimes I just want, whenever I open this browser, to actually continue. You can set it to open a new tab. Whenever you open Google Chrome, it will open a new tab, or you can just configure it to open a specific page or a set of pages, which is the specific page. It could be the Google Chrome, which is the home page. So again, I prefer to actually continue where I left. Then the next thing you can configure your language. As you can see, since I'm from South Africa, I use English South Africa. Sometimes I use English UK, or sometimes I use English UK US. Again, it goes with your preferred language, which is, I prefer English. My home language basically it's Xhosa, but I prefer English. Then you can set your browser to actually have what we call a spell check or error checking. Then also you can use Google Translate. It is advisable to use Google Translate because there are certain websites where the whole website is it's built using that specific language. Like for example, a Spanish website is built using the Spanish language. A website from Spain is built using the Spanish language. Yeah, so you can use Google Translate to translate from Spanish to English or whichever language that you prefer. As you can see, automatically I translate Arab. I usually visit those type of websites. So it will translate whatever language to Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Turkish, Vietnamese, even Xhosa. I sometimes translate Xhosa to English, English to Xhosa. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, then on downloads, you can actually configure your download whenever you download a specific file or whatever you are downloading. You can change the location. As you can see, mine it's configured to be on the C drive, on users, or my name. And then on downloads, you can actually change your preferred location to any location that you want, but for now I'll just leave it on downloads. Then you can actually configure it to actually ask you where to save. Whenever you download something, it will ask you where to save. It doesn't have to be on downloads. You set it to save it in whichever preferred location. Then on the system, this one, I think I like this one. So I don't like any browser to actually run on the background, because if the browser is actually running on the background, it means it's continuing whatever it was doing. Two things that is actually doing. First thing, it's gonna chow your pen, it's gonna chow your data. So sometimes you notice that you're using too much data for that certain month or that specific period of time, using a lot of data. The reason why you suddenly goes out of date is because there are certain programs that are running on the background that are using a lot of bandwidth. So you just uncheck this one, so that whatever you were doing on that specific time, whenever you close the browser, then it forgets whatever it was doing. Then whenever you come back to that browser, then it will continue, rather than let it to continue in the background and chowing a lot of data, chowing a lot of memory. Just toggle this button off. Then you can use your graphics acceleration when available. So for me, I'm using a graphics card, so I can just turn the graphics acceleration on. I wouldn't advise turning this button off, because sometimes when you watch videos online, you will struggle to actually get better graphics, because sometimes when you use a personal not a personal computer, but a laptop. So if your laptop has a dedicated graphics card, or it doesn't have a dedicated graphics card, it's advisable that you use the graphics acceleration when it is available. But if you are using a graphics card like me, then you can just toggle it off or on. It doesn't matter. You can also show system notification about Chrome features and tips. I don't like getting those notifications and features, because I don't use Chrome on a day-to-day running of whatever I'm doing. I prefer to use Brave. Even on Brave, some of these settings are being turned off. Then the last one is on device AI. To power features like scam detection, Chrome can use AI models that can run directly on your device. When this is off, these features might not work. Okay, the good thing about this one is that it can actually detect if someone is trying to do nasty things on your system, or it's trying to actually steal information. Then automatically that AI will detect that. But at what cost? It's gonna take a lot of memory, and it's gonna affect the performance of your personal compute. So you can toggle this off, or you can just leave it on. So I'll just toggle it off because I don't think I need this. So sometimes I don't think, the reason why I'm saying I don't think I need this, because it's because I'm using what we called browser extensions. So I'll just make another video about how do you go about downloading the extensions and stuff. Then you can, if you believe this set you don't still remember which settings that you already configured, you can actually reset. If you have any questions, you can just